dead stars I laid my head upon a tomb of shattered lead. The desert winds began to mourn as ancient heavens ripped and torn. A staircase rose through bleeding skies with countless mouths and eyeless sighs. Silver ring was stained with ash. as winged abominations rose, their ribs exposed through holy skin, their jaws dripped sacramental sin. They circled towers made of bone and crowned the earth with plague and scar. Apart, like iron nails through flesh and heart. Their trumpets sounded over graves, awakening forgotten slaves. The rivers turned to boiling pitch as angels fed within the dead. Their wings eclipse the dying sun. The feast of ruin has begun. Angels with vulture wings descend through storms of flame, carrying plague and ruin in the blackened Father's name. Angels with vulture wings tear through the gates above, scattering ash and from the dead reborn. Each rung composed of shattered spines, still twitching in forgotten time. The marrow grow a ghostly white beneath the curse of endless night. Smoke, where ancient titan spirits spoke. Their voices cracked the frozen sky as carrion angels drifted by. The bones beneath my feet would moan like temples carved from dying stone. Each step devours flesh and breath. The ladder only leads through death. The ladder built a bone sits beyond the stars. The ladder built a bone is lined with bleeding scars. Climb toward the mouth of heaven, where blackened serpents crawl. Climb toward the endless void beyond creation's fall. Like rain and crimson floods, 1,000 corpses line the path, reduced to dust by sacred wrath. The winds became infernal chants that echoed through the vast expanse. And breath, the ladder only leads through death. The ladder built a bow, ascends beyond the stars. The ladder built a bow, is lined with bleeding scars. Climb toward the mouth of heaven, where blackened seraph crawl. Climb toward the endless void beyond creation's fall. The staircase cracked beneath my soul as endless choirs lost control. The final rung dissolved to ash, and all the heavens split and crashed. Still upward through the void I tread, among the countless silent dead. infected wax upon forgotten sacred tracks. The altar gripped with serpent blood, white thunder rolled like ancient flood. Adorn the walls to watch the heavens rise and fall. The pill is breathed, corrupted, pressed through suffocating midnight. Became a doorway wide where sleeping gods no longer hide. Dreaming in the house of God where angels rot below. Dreaming in the house of God where poison rivers flow. Like brittle glass, the stars collapse in flame, and every prayer abandoned here returns without a name. The temple doors were burned away. No light remained to guide the way. Only the hiss of serpent tongues beneath eclipsed and bleeding sun.
with broken glass, or even forgiveness doesn't last. You smell like incense and bad decisions, like whispered sins and poor conditions. The confessional door was barely hanging, but we both knew what it was saying. skin like every loss I've ever been in. The priest outside doesn't hear a thing while we turn ruin into a hymn. We sing, we laugh like sinners in velvet smoke. Every truth we had just broke. The stained glass shakes with every breath like love rehearsing its own death. But we keep going, no turning back. Two broken saints off the track. If this burns down, let it burn bright. We found religion in the night. Confession booth romance in the dark. Carving our names into every spark. We don't need saving, we need the thrill of breaking vows that never stood still. Whispered sins like stolen prayer. Hands on fate that isn't there. If God is listening, he can wait. We're too busy sealing our fate. The bells don't ring for us anymore. We wrote heaven into the floor. With love is blasphemy, let it be the only truth that's left for me. And like the booth that let it shake, we were never meant to be The sky ignited overhead as burning stars fell down like lead. The staircase glowed infernal red beneath the countless sacred dead. The war horns cried through poison rain. The guards descending once again. I climbed while wrapped in searing flame. No flesh remained to bear my name. The angels watched with hollow eyes as smoke
gate, where silent gods disintegrate. No mercy waited in the storm, only the void and endless fire. The fire carried me above, beyond all the memory and the throne appeared. Above the souls impaled and speared, its golden arches rotted black, like heaven suffered some attack. The stars hung dead around its crown, as endless shadows gathered down.
seat and felt the pulse beneath it beat, like something ancient trapped below, beneath the endless cosmic snow. The throne began to slowly breathe and opened up the void beneath.
The throne stands empty in the night, abandoned by the holy light. Throne of the hollow heaven, empty beyond the stars. Throne of the hollow heaven, surrounded by endless scars. No god remains in silence. No boil beneath us. The mountains split apart as serpents climb the staircase toward creation's heart. The stars collapsed into the sea as all of heaven screamed at me. The staircase bled infernal light that swallowed every trace of night. The dead arose from fields below to watch the gate begin to glow. A thousand horns cried through the dark, like beasts released from Noah's Ark. The earth became a burning grave for every saint and every slave. And through the smoke I saw the throne reduced to dust and shattered bone. The final gate begins to rise beneath the apocalyptic skies. The seventh gate opens, the final seal undone. The seventh gate opens beneath the blackened sun. The oceans boil beneath us, the mountains split apart as serpents climb the staircase toward creation's heart. Beyond the gate, no light survived. Only the void remained alive. The ladder twisted into flame as all existence lost its name. The the ladder cold and vast. I saw the universe breathe its last. The stars collapsed like dying suns as endless choirs came undone. The void consumed the throne of gold and left the heavens dark and cold. of sound and light. The serpent crown consumed the sky as Jacob watched the last star